Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakudash. Alright, I'm going to make this a quick one. Alright. It says Sri Lanka implements QR code digital ID fuel rationing. Now, the new president just implemented this today. Okay. Now, the new guy that they put in there is a puppet. Alright. And I'm going to read to you. Alright. Who that he's a member and he's with the agenda. All right. It says Sri Lanka has begun forcing citizens to use a QR code to access gas pumps as part of a nationwide fuel rationing scheme. The policy was introduced by the Sri Lanka Minister of Power and Energy, Kanchana Wijesekera, at the behest of Sri Lanka's new president, Ranil Wickremesinghe, something like that. I don't know. A member and an agenda contributor of the World Economic Forum. And we all know who runs the World Economic Forum. All right. Klaus Schwab's. All right. Which Klaus Schwab's, he's an insider. All right. He's a Freemason. All right. He's with this agenda. All right. And he works for the super elites. All right. Which is to push this digitalized agenda. All right, because the end goal is to give everybody Revelations 13 verse 16 on down, the whole world. All right, to make them bow the knee to the international bankers, to make everybody their permanent slave. All right, so they're using this as a testing ground, as a start. All right, with this digital ID QR code for gas pumps. All right, out there in Sri Lanka. All right. So this guy is nothing but a puppet that they put in there to push in their agenda. All right. It says after initial technical issues, fuel pass QR system was successfully tested today. The pilot project will continue before going national next week. Last digit number plate fuel quota will ease the fuel lines in the next few days with distribution speeding up island wide. Wijaska wrote in a tweet earlier today. Okay. So you see how they caused the problem reaction solution, all right? And they're not done, all right? This is just a test, all right? You see now they're going to require everybody to use a digital ID code to get gas, all right? So the same tactic that they're using with this, they're going to super upscale it when Revelations 13 verse 16 comes out, all right? It says, I thank the fuel station owners who supported the public that adopted and assisted forces and volunteers that assisted in implementing it. Some fuel stations did not adopt it, and some individuals manipulated or falsified QR codes and did not want this implemented. However, it will be enforced island-wide, you see? So they pushing this, all right? And there's people that are not with it because they might see what's going on, all right? Or might not, but they might not like what was being implemented, all right? And then you got those that are with it, all right? A mass majority of them, all right? And a massive majority of these people that's with this, all right? You know, you could put this, a majority of people that's with this, all right, we're getting this QR code, all right? They might be down when Revelations 13 verse 16 comes out, all right? When Esau, you know, implements that microchip, all right, to the whole world, okay? This is what it's leading up to, all right? Agenda 2030, okay? You know, let me see how long this article is. All right, it's not that long, so I'll finish reading it, all right? But as per the fuel quota policy, Sri Lanka. Well, let me see this tweet right here. It says introduction to the national fuel pass will be held 12:30 p.m. A guaranteed weekly fuel quota will be allocated one vehicle per one NIC QR code allocated once vehicle chassis number and detail verified 2 days of the week according to the last digit of number plate for fueling with QR code. All right. So you see there, but here's a video, all right? It says, as per the fuel quota policy, Sri Lankans will have to apply with their national ID card numbers once their ID and other details are verified, and will then be assigned a QR code to access gas at pumps across the country. So they got to get their information out to their government, and then the government basically will give them the okay. You know, and send their QR codes. All right. So you see how Esau is making the people, you know, rely on the government. All right. By doing things like this. All right. Sri Lankans will then be made to take turns to get fuel based on the last digit of their vehicle registration numbers. However, tourists and foreigners will be given priority to get fuel in Colombo, the largest city in Sri Lanka, likely to avoid even more damage to Sri Lanka's tourism industry. So Sri Lanka requires the citizens to have a fuel pass with QR code to ration the weekly amount of fuel coming soon to Europe. You see, it says Sri Lanka requires citizens to have a fuel pass with QR code to ration the weekly amount of fuel coming soon to Europe. So this is coming to Europe. Let me see if I can play. All right, so right there you saw. All right, they got a scan their QR code to get gas, man. All right, they're doing away with the old and bringing in this new system, man. All right, which is to digitalize everything and have everybody you know what, Revelations 13:16. All right, they want the whole world with this agenda, man. All right, and this is just a test, you know, because this is not gonna be. Obviously, they plan on taking away the phones. All right, by the end, but from what I heard from, you know, various sources, I'm not saying it's permanent, but don't be surprised that it will be permanent, because they showed you in I forgot the show on Netflix, all right, where they didn't need to use a phone no more. All right, they had a microchip, you know, in their hand, and that was the way that they used to call people, man. All right, so, you know, they're gonna use the phone, but then they're gonna do away with the phone. All right, and then they're gonna want you to get that, you know what, Revelations 13:16, either in your hand or in your brain. All right. It says armed guards are reportedly assisting with implementing the QR code digital ID fuel rationing program. They were also previously deployed to gas stations and equipped with military-grade weapons to prevent those with non-essential vehicles from purchasing gas. So you see how they use the military, okay? So you could use the same thing when all hell breaks loose, when these supermarkets run out of food, and the only people that's gonna be able to get food are those people with the mark, man. And those that don't have the mark, they asked out. You have to comply to your government or what they say. That's what Esau wants, man. He wants everybody, the whole world, to bow the knee to him. In May, Sri Lanka energy sectors came to the point of total collapse and has continued a downgrade trajectory ever since. All right, you have more videos. Oh, look at this. Army and fuel stations in Sri Lanka after the government decision to ban the sale of petrol and diesel to non-essential vehicles. Look at that. And they have the military there, man. You don't comply, you're going to get shot, killed. People don't like that, man. So all hell's getting ready to break loose all around the world, man. You're seeing all these uproars of the people, man. Just like Yahweh Shai said. Before he comes, you're going to see uprising of the people. All right, famine. All right, earthquakes in diverse places. Famines in diverse places. All right, the collapse of the economy. Plagues. All right, uproars, civil war, race wars. Martial law is getting ready to be implemented soon. All right, but before they implement that, they have to take the guns away from the American people, because they don't want the American people to be, you know, armed. So when they bring in their troops, they don't have to worry about them getting shot. All right, so we know what's going on, man, with this Agenda 2030. All right, Esau Edom thinks he's gonna push this agenda, pushing his new world order, man. But what he don't know is that there's gonna be a monkey wrench thrown in his new world order. It says, at the time, the then newly elected Prime Minister Ranali warned citizens that the country had run out of fuel and that the next couple of months would be the most difficult ones of our lives. He has since been chased out of the country by angry mobs, not unlike his predecessor, who fled before he got to that point. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's it, man. I think I think they even chased because it says they even chased the new minister out. Well, yeah, man. So you see what's going on out there in Sri Lanka. All right, they're passing out digital QR codes for people with gas. That want to get gas, and those that's not that don't have their vehicles registered. You know, that's not with this. You know, they won't be able to get gas. You know, but yeah, all hell's getting ready to break loose. All right, so we know we're at the end of Esau's rulership. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. So with that, all praise to Yahweh by Shemi Shai by Hashem Kakudash. Shalom.